Visa and Mastercard continue to support Roblox, censoring adult games on Steam while funding a Predator playground? Oh my god! Alright, let's see what this article is actually about. Despite reportedly forcing platforms like Steam to eliminate legal adult-oriented games, Visa and Mastercard continue to support Roblox, despite numerous reports of predators using it to reach children. Okay, I mean, that's just every online game ever. This is the internet. Let's not pretend that this is a Roblox problem. This is an internet problem. When gamers notice hundreds of adult titles suddenly vanish from Steam and itch.io this summer, the explanation didn't come from Valve or indie developers, it came from the banks. Payment processors, Visa, MasterCard, working in tandem with advocacy pressure, forced platforms to eliminate certain kinds of adult content, aka Zorn games, or risk losing the ability to process transactions altogether. The move sparked a storm of backlash from developers and free speech advocates who decried the practice as financial censorship. Yet, even as Visa and MasterCard take a hard line against legal adult-oriented design for consenting players, they continue to process billions in payments for Roblox, a platform that has become the subject of lawsuits, attorney general investigations, and damning media exposés for its child safety failures. The contrast is stark and raises uncomfortable questions about money, morality, and selective enforcement. I mean, let's be honest, these are two completely different issues. I don't agree with them censoring anything, to be honest. It seems that this writer is pushing for the censorship of Roblox by these payment processors. It seems that's the agenda they want. Or they're just pointing out the hypocrisy that they would censor these Zorn games, but not censor Roblox, which it may not be a Zorn game, but it's an online game that uses the internet, so predators can attack children in it, just like any online video game. Therefore, why isn't it being censored? I think this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, this is a big reach from the writer, but let's just keep reading. Let's see. Maybe they'll have more interesting things to say. The Steam crackdown. In late July, The Guardian confirmed that thousands of adult titles disappeared from Steam and itch.io after Collective Shout, an Australian lobby group, a feminist Australian lobby group, huge surprise that they're the ones trying to force out Zorn games, boasted of persuading Visa and MasterCard to cut off financial support for platforms hosting games with specific themes, aka Zorn themes. Steam updated its rules to prohibit content that might offend payment processors, while itch.io quickly de-indexed entire swaths of content to keep its storefront alive. MasterCard has since denied involvement in this purge, but the platforms themselves refute this. Okay, MasterCard news. I actually haven't seen this. Clarifying recent headlines on gaming content. I'm guessing they deny it? MasterCard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity on game creator sites and platforms, contrary to media reports and allegations. Our payment networks follow standards based on the rule of law. Put simply, we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure MasterCard cards cannot be used for unlawful purchases. Okay, so basically they just, including illegal adult content. Okay, so they say we didn't do it, but also MasterCards can't be used for illegal adult content. And they may have just conveniently pushed Zorn games under illegal adult content, even though Zorn games are technically legal adult content. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm buying this or not, because, I mean, we have the Collective Shout. We have proof that this is the group that sent thousands of emails to these payment processor companies to get them to do this. So this seems just like complete bullshit, if I had to guess, honestly. This statement, anyway. All right, continuing on. Developers, including pride-centric creators, oh no, argue the purge was overly broad. Games with artistic or narrative significance were lumped in with the most extreme material. PC Gamer reported that the rule changes were less about law and more about keeping Visa and MasterCard happy. Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta keep the money flowing. If the money doesn't flow, then everything's gone. For smaller studios, the message was chilling. If the banks disapprove, your game may disappear. Yep. Roblox's Predator crisis. This is what I wanted to read about. Contrast that with Roblox. The platform bills itself as a family-friendly creative space, yet lawsuits and investigations paint a much darker reality. The Louisiana Attorney General sued Roblox in August, citing years of failed moderation and weak age verification. Families across the U.S. are also filing suit, alleging children were groomed, exploited, or even abducted after encounters on Roblox. In one case, a 10-year-old girl in California was kidnapped following contact with the predator she met in the game. Oh my god, we gotta shut down Roblox, guys. Just for some context, Roblox is the largest children's video game, online game, in the world. And just understand, this is not new. This predator stuff, this is not new. This is not unique to Roblox. This is an internet occurrence. This is not just a Roblox occurrence. This is a problem with the internet. This is a problem with parenting. This is a problem with letting your kids spend too much time on their iPad, on the computer, unsupervised, without rules or sets or regulations on your own computer to prevent them from doing things like, oh, I don't know, going into another guy's Discord. Because realistically, that's what happens. These groomers, these predators in Roblox or anywhere on the internet, they'll try to drag your kid into like some third-party place, usually a Discord. If I had to guess, I would guess that most of the grooming and all this shit happens in like Twitch streamer Discords. If I had to guess, that's probably where most of it happens. But yeah, I just want to keep clarifying that this is not a Roblox issue. This is an internet issue. This is an issue with bad parenting, with lazy parenting. So no. Like, banning Roblox isn't going to solve this issue. So that's why it kind of annoys me that this is kind of the angle that people are trying to take. They're trying to use this as a vehicle to push more censorship and more regulations in video games. Wired reported that cases of child exploitation linked to Roblox exploded from 675 in 2019 to more than 24,000 in 2024. Well, yeah, I mean, the player base in Roblox has also exploded. The platform's attempt at reform, AI tools, ID verification, and experience restrictions have done little to stem the tide. Investigators argue the company prioritizes monetization over safety, while predators continue to exploit loopholes. Well, I mean, companies are always going to prioritize monetization. That's just kind of how companies work. It got so bad that users were taking it upon themselves to become vigilante predator hunters to root out these dangerous actors. So yeah, this is where it all sparked from. Some YouTuber who created content out of basically catfishing predators by pretending he's like a minor, sending them messages and then inviting them to a Discord and then setting them up. The guy who made content out of doing this, similar to like a Chris Hansen, only in Roblox, got banned for breaking the TOS of Roblox, and everyone was up in arms. So that's kind of what actually sparked all this. But let's continue. It got so bad that users were taking upon themselves to become vigilante predators to root out these dangerous actors. Roblox responded by banning these vigilantes and claiming in a statement that they're as bad as the predators they're trying to stop. I mean, obviously they're not as bad as the predators they're trying to stop. But let's be honest, they were breaking TOS. I mean, this is a video game. They can, in a video game, they can ban you for fucking anything. They can ban you for saying the wrong word. They could ban you for saying a word that might start with the letter N. Or they could ban you for breaking any of their TOS. Which, yes, in the Roblox TOS, you can't pretend like you're a minor to coax people into joining your Discord server. That is actually against Roblox TOS, believe it or not. Dragging people to third-party Discords and shit like that. So yeah, it's not surprising they got banned. Obviously, it sucks. It's kind of lame. But on the other hand, it makes sense that they got banned. Obviously, Roblox doesn't want to be, that to be the public face of their video game. The double standard. On Steam, adults buying adult-themed games face financial censorship dictated by payment companies. On Roblox, where systematic failures have allowed real children to be harmed. Again, this is the stance that people are going to be taking. This is what people are going to use to try to push more censorship and more regulation in video games. We saw it happen in the UK on a much larger scale. Guess what happened in the UK? They forced ID verification to use the internet. And you know how they push that? You know how they coax people into doing that? You know how they guilt trip people into doing that? They said, think of the children. It's for the safety of the children. You just have to give away your freedoms for a little more safety. Think of the children. I mean, this has been an ongoing debate, an ongoing topic for decades, for forever, since the dawn of fucking civilization, since we started making settlements, is how much freedom do you sacrifice for safety, right? That's kind of the point that we're at. I mean, hell, we saw it happen with 9/11. Look what happened there. Jesus Christ. Airports are a fucking nightmare now. And now they're trying to do it in video games too. But again, this is how they do it. They take a sensitive topic, right? Like children and fucking predators. They take a very sensitive topic that pretty much everyone universally will say, oh, that's horrible. And they'll try to use that to push more regulation. And the government's probably going to get involved too. They were, in fact, I would not be surprised if there were some government officials waiting exactly for a moment like this to step in and say, hey, time to get some regulations. We need more IDs in order for anyone to use the internet, because it's for the safety of the children. That could happen soon. I wouldn't be surprised. That feels like the way that we're going right now. They continue to greenlight every Roblox purchase, every premium subscription, every branded tie-in, despite lawsuits and attorney general complaints. Again, this is just, yeah, they're going to keep selling Robux in their video game despite this controversy. They're not just going to cut off their revenue flow. That would be retarded. The inconsistency, again, it's not inconsistency. Adults lose access to legal games because they might offend credit card companies' brand guidelines, while children remain at risk on a platform that brings in billions. Again, these are two completely different topics. I'm just going to continue. Why it matters. The selective enforcement raises pressing questions. Is this really about morality, or is it about money? Steam's adult games are niche, easy targets. Roblox, in contrast, is one of the most lucrative ecosystems in gaming, with billions flowing through Visa and Mastercard every year. Cutting off Roblox would be financially painful for Visa and Mastercard. Again, they never were going to cut it off. It wasn't even on the radar. And again, this is a completely separate issue from weird Australian feminists pushing for censorship of porn games. Sorry, Zorn games. Versus the biggest children's online game in the fucking world also has the most child predators in the world. Like, duh. So yeah, that's why this, like, they're trying to push like almost a false dichotomy in this article, and as I'm sure you can probably tell, it's kind of annoying me. The result is a system where adult players are censored, but children remain exposed to predators. Visa and Mastercard act as a judge and jury for creative expression, yet turn a blind eye when their financial partners face allegations of enabling exploitation on a massive scale. Again, what are they implying here? That they should be censoring Roblox because the kids are in danger? Or maybe the parents should just parent their kids. Maybe they should regulate their time on the internet. Maybe they should have safeguards in place to prevent their kid from joining someone else's Discord server, because that's actually how this stuff happens. It might start in Roblox, but it ends in Discord. So yeah, it's kind of just ridiculous what this article is implying. The article is basically implying that Visa and Mastercard should censor Roblox because they banned a predator hunter who made YouTube content. It's all silly. It's all silly to me. Again, I'm going to say it again. I said it in my previous videos. People didn't like to hear it. People are going to hate to hear it again, but I'm going to say it again. This is not a Roblox issue. This is an internet issue. The only solution to keeping your kids safe on the internet is to parent your kids. Restrict their internet access, right? Supervise them while they're on the internet, or put regulations in place. You can restrict what your kid can do on the computer. You can make it so they can't launch Discord, for example, right? You could do things like that. You can prevent this. If you're a good parent and actually spend time looking into this, you can take the time to keep your kids safe. So no, don't blame MasterCard and Visa. Don't blame Roblox, because it's not their fault, right? This is always going to happen on the internet. This has always been an issue. This is not a Roblox unique issue. Roblox is just the current popular video game, the biggest one in the fucking world. So it's currently, you know, catching the heat for all this. The contrast is indefensible. If payment processors like Visa and Mastercard want to wield that power to police content, then they cannot ignore Roblox. See, we need the payment processors to censor Roblox now. That's what this article writer is calling for. It's actually fucking insane. Again, it's so easy to fall into this trap to say, think of the kids. Again, look what happened in the UK. Think of the kids. We need more regulations. We need more censorship. You need to lose your freedoms for the safety of the kids. Instead of just, oh, how about just be a more responsible parent in the age of the internet? Just be more conscious. How about that? Nope. This article writer is calling for more censorship, actually. Kind of crazy. Until they apply the same scrutiny to platforms where children are genuinely at risk, aka the internet, their interventions will look less like principled oversight and more like selective censorship driven by money. I mean, again, I'm going to say it again. The dichotomy between Visa and Mastercard getting pressured by an Australian feminist group to censor Zorn games on Steam and Roblox existing and not being censored by Mastercard and Visa it's an insane comparison to me, and I can't get over it. And I'm just going to say it one more time. This is not a Roblox issue. This is an internet issue. The only real solution is to parent your kid better, supervise them more, put regulations in place on your end, on your PC to keep them safe. Supervise them, restrict their time on the internet. Hell, just don't let them play Roblox if you're really that worried about it. Just don't let them use the internet until they're 13. I mean, you could do a lot of things. That's pretty extreme, obviously, but I mean, hell, I grew up in the 90s. I grew up kind of when the internet was in its infancy, so it wasn't so bad. But yeah, I kind of want to see what the comments have to say. Let's see if there's anyone sensible here. Oh my god, there's someone sensible. I remember the last article that this guy wrote on this issue. Everyone was like, oh my god, take down Roblox, censor it. But now here's an actual sensible take, because this is my take, so clearly it's the sensible take. How about this? Parents start to actually parent by monitoring what their kids are doing. Oh my god. Crazy concept. Parents taking responsibility instead of just blaming Roblox. Crazy concept. If you don't want your kid to play games like GTA or be around predators, then you refuse to let your kid play them. I couldn't have said it better. Yep, it's really that simple. Offline games are a thing, and the internet isn't for everyone. So it is the parents' responsibility to only let their kids play what they want. You don't get to punish everyone due to you can't actually be a parent and monitor your kid. ESRB is there for a reason, so add a parental supervision required to the age rating, and then it all falls on the parent if they can play the game. I couldn't agree more. I'm honestly so shocked that this comment is the top comment. I mean, it's a new article, but I expected a lot of people to disagree with my take. But yeah, the first top comment here is actually kind of parroting exactly what I was saying. So that's surprising. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by this article because again, their stance seems to be, well, they censored Zorn games on Steam. Why don't they censor Roblox too? Well, these are two completely different issues, and you're pushing for more censorship, which just out of principle, I am against. Again, I am a 90s baby. I grew up with 9/11. I saw what happened in airports, so I am just against this shit, just out of principle, because I grew up with it. I was exposed to it for a very young age. What happens when you go down this road? What happens when you go down the road of freedom versus security, right? People will sacrifice nearly all their freedom for just a little bit more security, a little bit more safety. And it really, really black-pilled me on that. So now I'm kind of extreme on the freedom side, but I do think I'm right here. I do think that people are overreacting, and I do think that the government is going to try to use this as a vehicle to push more regulation in video games, and I think overall it's going to be bad for the industry. But I'm curious what you guys have to think about it. Leave a comment, let me know what your thoughts are. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you dislike it. Subscribe. I'm a new channel, so subscriptions do go a very long way. And thanks for watching. Peace!